Hi guys, hope you're doing well. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, feel welcomed. This is a tutorial for civil engineers, builders, masons, carpenters, steel fixers, name it. All the people we associate together to build this environment. So this is will be an engineering platform. I will be discussing matters that are affecting engineers, the things engineers need to know about structures, building procedures, steel work, masonry work, carpentry work, name them, all the kinds of subdivisions that work together to form structures, and tutorials and the basic knowledge everyone should know about construction, every other thing that affects the construction industry this day. And don't forget to subscribe and share these videos. These are basically learning tutorials, and I hope it helps. And today I want to continue talking about concrete strength. So the other day we discussed about concrete, and so today I'm talking about concrete strength. So like we said, concrete is a mixture of cement, sand, water, and ballast. Sand normally is referred to as fine aggregates, and the ballast coarse aggregates. And then we realize the mixture of all these is what forms concrete. So when we cast concrete, you realize that concrete gains its strength with time in the presence of water in a process called hydration. So the more you add water to concrete, the more the concrete gains its strength, and the more it becomes a very strong material. In my last session, I told you about concrete being one of the most commonly used materials in the engineering world. This is because concrete is cheap and it's readily available compared to other materials that are expensive and the availability might be limited. So you will find that most structures in our local area are being made of concrete, and so you realize that concrete is a strong material and is strong in compression. So that's why the compressive strength of concrete is a very crucial item to be discussed. So when you cast concrete, the concrete will gain its maximum strength at 28 days in the presence of water. But you will find that the concrete strength is normally checked at intervals, like in 7 days and 14 days, so that you can be able to project what the concrete strength will be like at 28 days. And it has been found that concrete gains about 16% of its strength in the first 24 hours of casting. It gains 65% of its strength after 7 days in the presence of water, and 14% and 90% in 14 days. At 28 days, you expect the concrete to be 99% of its strength. So you find that the various grades of concrete have different strengths at various days. So in my table below, I've given you some of the various strengths of concrete in the various days after casting. Like I told you, a class of concrete just describes what the strength of that concrete will be at 28 days curing. Like if you say class 15 concrete, that is just concrete that after 28 days of curing will have a compressive strength of 15 Newton per millimeter squared. So you'll find that, like for example, class 20 of concrete will have 13 Newton per millimeter squared compressive strength at 7 days in the presence of water. That is all it means. So in the table below, I've calculated and showed you the different strengths of concrete in the various days that is expected on site. So somebody can ask you, how will you know the compressive strength of the concrete you use on site? So inside there are some strengths, there are some tests that are done on site to be able to determine the compressive strength of the concrete you are using. And one of the tests is called a cube test. A cube test is one of the most commonly used in situ test for testing the strength of concrete. And the procedure for these cube tests I will share in a minute, and you will find that the apparatus we use here are a cube mold that measures 150 mm by 150 mm by 150 mm. You will require a tamping rod of diameter 16 mm and of height 600 mm. So the procedure of testing of this cube test is once you have the molds, you will oil the inside of the mold so that you will have easy time of removing the concrete. And then you will fill the mold in 3 layers, approximately a third of the cube. So you will put your first or third layer of concrete. The concrete that you will use is the one you will be obtaining from the batching plant. So you will pick a sample in the morning, you will pick a sample in the afternoon, and you will pick a sample in the evening so that you maintain the batching. So once you have your concrete sample, you will take a portion, like a third of the mold, you put it on the mold, then you compact that layer 35 times with the tamping rod. Then you will add your second layer again, you compact it 35 times, and then the third layer. And once you fill the cube, you remove excess concrete and you level the surface of the cube. You make it smooth so that you'll be able to indicate the on that cube which type of sample you're using. And then once the concrete has set, normally like you can leave it for like throughout the night. So the following morning, once the concrete has set, you open up the molds, you remove the concrete cubes, and you dip them in pure water. You submerge them for curing. Then after 7 days, you take the sample of the cubes to a cube crushing machine. In that crushing machine, the cube will be subjected to a load, and the load that will break the cube will be the load that will be taken. You will divide that load with the surface area of the cube to obtain the compressive strength of the concrete. Your results at 7 days should be able to predict what the results will be at 28 days. If at 7 days your cube does not attain the required results at 7 days, that mix should be disregarded. And so when batching, you have to be very keen on the mix you are doing so as to prevent such losses. And then another thing you should note is that you should have at least 6 cubes so that you can be able to test the samples at different days. I hope this information helps you inside, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.